match in the round 4 elimination between kirekachesschamp from Uganda and unjournakamura, I believe, from the United States. And black resigns, out of pieces. So the match goes to 4-4, which is the most exciting score, because it means that we are guaranteed to have a deciding game in the one after this. So 4-4. It's already tiebreak time, effectively. Well, 5-5 is properly speaking tiebreak, but we're already in a tiebreak situation. Critical stage, says Oppa. Can't talk, but have fun. Nice that you can cover it. And Marlon, yes, this is CWC. Okay, so, So should we cover the live action, or should we just look at what happened before? I think we'll save up looking what happened before to after the match, and just try and cover the live action. So pawn at f5, Oppa didn't like. So kirekachesschamp, by the way, played in the Crazyhouse World Championship together with Bill Miller, I believe. In the under 2000 section. I think they were too strong for everyone. So black's looking in decent shape here, but that's a very fine move. Okay, he's lucky he can move the knight with tempo, with the check, and then defend this square, and he should be fine. So white doesn't really want to take, as that would just help the development, but then if you don't take, you have to reinforce. I was thinking pawn here to block the d-file, perhaps, but that doesn't quite work, because takes, and this still becomes weak. But there's still this, yeah. There's still this sort of double, this bishop is slightly overloaded, looking at d2 and e4. So does he want to give up the piece? Okay, that's very aggressive from kirekachesschamp. Just going straight in, looks like he doesn't have a pawn for e2. d1 seems quite well protected, but not clear where the queen goes. So this, yeah, he's taking away the defenders from d1. This is nice play from Kireka, I have to say. Because I can't see anything concrete. Oh, this is a check, that's the problem. Ouch. I mean, he has to save his bishop, I guess. And now pawn here is coming, and the knight is now overloaded. So pawn at e2. If knight takes, then queen takes, and bishop takes will be mate. Oh, he does it this way. Yeah, this is also nice. So he's going to be picking up a knight. If the king runs this way, he'll promote to queen. If he runs this way, he'll promote to knight, block, and knight here is checkmate. So that was a nice play from Kireka. Ominous says black did not have a pawn. So what's the idea then? If you don't have a pawn, Nicholas Slice in the Twitch chat. Black's attack so strong he can place things he doesn't have. By the way, Nicholas, we're missing your videos on h6, attacking on h6 and smothered mate. So if you can ever send them over to me at some point, I can maybe try and recreate something out of them. if you don't want to make them public yourself, because there was good stuff there. So that's final position. Queen takes d1. Oh, so he's going for queen here. So what I see? There's no pawn. There's no pawn, but you just go straight in. Queen takes d1, and if after knight takes queen here and queen takes knight, smothered mate. Okay, so the smothered mate comes. Nice. So pressure is now on Unjournakamura, he's been playing CWC for many years, whereas Kireka is new this year to the Crazyhouse World Championship. So definitely Unjournakamura, I'd have said, was the favourite for this match, but Kireka playing nicely, and Unjournakamura is now in a must-win situation. Opperwaisen says, a bishop on b2 is usually nice for black, since it's not looking at h6 for a pawn drop on the king side, especially if the bishop is blocked with d4. But c5 seems to help white, I think. D takes c5 was a move to open up the diagonal, and yeah. So when the king's in the center of the board, you don't really want c5 because c7 is weak. But never mind that. Whereas white doesn't mind having a weakness on c2 because his king isn't anywhere near c2. Opperwaisen says, I think Nakamura has got good openings. And I guess he does it to get out of theory. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. This is like alarm bells. So the question is, how does black pick up a knight? Don't need to be subtle about this. Just do it. And it's quite a good because that knight is also defending the king side. So I think this is very tempting. Another approach might be to use a pawn somehow. Maybe that's more subtle. Well, now knight takes bishop is a threat. What is black thinking? Is he thinking he has something? Oof. White is playing very strong. Almost instantly. Very nice. Yeah, black has just thrown away a lot of his attacking pieces. And now white's attacking e6. I mean, this is just incredibly strong from Kireka. That doesn't defend e6. So it's strong and fast play, and really, Unjournakamura just resigns. And that's 6-4, match to Kireka. Really tough finish there for Unjournakamura. So Nick, what do you say? Are you able to send me those videos at some point? I don't know, like upload them to some file sharing website or something, and I'll just take what I can from them to recreate something at some point. Because the studies, I think, are all dead long ago. This was game. We'll just quickly replay. Was Kireka playing so strong from the beginning, or did he get stronger as the match went on? So there's Unjournakamura sacking on h7. And winning game 1, very strong. Just the queen is falling. Black's king is a mess. So Kireka didn't start so strong. So, okay, he sacks the queen. Okay, it's an exchange of queens, I guess. But this is a problem because it opens up this queen. Okay, this is just finished. Queen takes rook was even an issue. Queen takes rook, king takes pawn. Maybe it wasn't quite mate, so he goes for this instead. Going for pawn here, check. Hard to defend. Oh, that was a nice little trick. And you couldn't sidestep because of queen takes bishop. So this is a nice little trick, but it just doesn't work because black still has another queen in hand. So 2-0 unjournakamura started strongly. Oppa, which game are we talking about? So Oppa's saying knight d4 is maybe right. I make this mistake very often against Jan Li, and then there are knight takes h7. Oh, game 1, yeah. Knight takes h7 ideas. Knight d4 got to be added. Knight g5 looks like it'll take on f7, but knight takes h7. So yeah, this is game 1. You have to insert knight d4. Knight g5 looks like it'll take on f7, but knight takes h7 was the idea. Yeah, game 1. Okay, so Kireka playing, it's got very solid this game, and kind of has somehow avoided theory because I think, yeah, as Oppa said, unjournakamura is quite good at theory. Okay, so he's giving up his queen. Why not bishop takes? Is there a reason? Oh yes, the bishop's hanging. So king takes, rook here check, blocks. Unjournakamura just gives up a whole queen. What's this about? Don't see it. Queen at f8. I mean, if this is engine, second best engine move, queen at f8 seems strange. Oh, I see. It makes sense actually, because queen at g8 was the danger. So queen at f8. What other moves were there? Bishop takes e5, takes and counterattack was also an idea. Okay, queen at f8. To humanize that seems really strange, but that's because I'm not a good player and didn't see the dangers. What else could he have done? I guess he can't get his king out very quickly because so queen at g8 is a problem. And so what do you do to defend against that? So it's quite logical. What else can you do? Can you take on h7, but then queen here and then defend with the knight? So why can't we do that? Rook here, queen at g8, and then oh, I see, this doesn't work at all because then f7 falls. Knight here, queen takes f7. I was imagining. Apparently, this is still okay for black. So okay, this is interesting. Oppa says, "Too bad you always see my messages a bit late." Yes, I'm not good at multitasking like a certain penguin GM. If d7, bishop takes c7, knight takes c7, always some takes h2 ideas. Okay, so yeah, black is very solid here. I guess, yeah. So this is just playing very solid. Yeah, exactly. Oof, I'm worried here. I'm about to get mated. Oppa says, no problem. I mean, there's a queen in hand, but I guess we're just slipping away. I mean, it looks really scary. But we're just fine, right? I mean, if knight here, king here, and the bishop's covering. But hang on a second. This is... If you go king takes, is it all that bad? So rook takes apparently is good. Obviously rook takes looks dangerous because you're smothering your king. And it feels tempting to go king takes to try and encourage at d7, and white doesn't have the second pawn. But rook takes apparently is good. Rook here check. Oof. And white has no blockers. That hurts. Okay, so then it's game over with no blockers. Very nice. So that was, let's try and get it onto the cross table. That was game 3. So this is Kireka fighting back. So that was his first win. Okay. So what was happening here? Zaraza says, yeah, it's quite equal in strength, these two. This move is interesting. I don't understand it. Can't be right. I guess the engine will say that's a mistake. Yeah, look, goes from minus 0.6 to minus 8. So this move gives away a queen, almost, which is quite shocking. This is like, imagine in chess you just play a3 to a4, and it says, oh, you've just lost a queen with that move. So why is it so bad? I mean, it gives up control over this square. It loses time is the problem. But why is it so bad? Why is it so bad to be losing a queen? And as Oppa says, there might be some bishop takes g3 ideas in the position. Bishop takes g3, why can't we just take it back? You know, it feels like we're opening up our rook file, the knight's defending h2. Oh yeah, of course, bishop takes e3 is coming. And bishop takes f3 to follow. I mean, it still doesn't feel like this disastrous just yet, but just shows I can't judge these positions very well. I guess this one is also dropping. Knight at f2 is also another idea. Knight at f5, hitting here and here. And within a couple of moves, I mean, black is minus 12 from what was an equal position. I mean, that's a shocking thing, though, in Crazyhouse. This as like a queen losing move. Wow. In what looks like a very equal position, nothing quite exciting happening, but clearly not. So, okay, this. Now white's consolidated. Just shows you have to sack in this game. You can't just sit back. You have to take action. It's not called Crazyhouse for nothing. And now white's putting his pieces on the board. Oh, I don't like that move either. But maybe it's good. It's defending e3 and it's attacking the rook. So I'm wrong about that one. So it's very solid. Ooh, scary. h1 if he ever gets a rook. Rook here. Again, this is creating weaknesses in white's position. Oh. Rook takes f5. What's the plan? Why do you want a knight? Oh, I see. There's some nasty ideas with check. Even stronger than this was this check, because then the rook can't take back. So you take off the rook for free, and maybe he takes here, but then this is weak, I'm guessing. We don't have a pawn for f7, but even just rook at f7 apparently is good. So, okay, but he did this way. He solidifies. Okay, so white is growing a little bit in stature. So this is an interesting game. He gives away his queen and wins back the queen. It feels a little bit risky, but I guess everything is just about safe. Yeah, we have to take that bishop. That's pretty urgent because g1 is weak. I'd be so nervous in this position that there's not some mate. How can there not be a mate? The dark squares are so weak. So I guess if queen here, check, rook here, and then run, that's the key, I'm guessing. If queen here, rook, yeah, this is really important actually. It's the block and then run, and that's actually a protective piece. Oppa says, I thought the main idea of bishop h6 and bishop d6, also mirrored as white in the d4, knight f3, bishop g5 system, is for some sacks to get 2 pawns for a piece and get control on black squares with bishop h6 and takes g3, and mirror to get play on the white squares with bishop takes g6. Even though bishop h6 covers g7 nicely, but if black got the chance, a sack can be good sometimes. Yep. So yeah, two pawns can definitely be worth even more than a piece. So I'm very scared in this position. but apparently there's even at f2. Oh, black does have mate. You see, this says +6. It's a lie. My engine is just weak, but it's a difficult mate. There's a very key move. You know how usually you have cookie crumbing up the board? So this is really unusual. It should go under the cookie crumbing. Your cookie crumbing along the along the rank takes here. This is incredible. This is incredible. I've never seen this. King takes d2. You've cookie crumbed along the rank instead of up the board. And the point is, if you run back, queen and rook will mate, because the dark squares are so weak. I thought they were weak. So king c3, but now queen and rook will mate for sure. So queen here, check, king takes knight, rook here, check, king here, queen here. So this game, that's just amazing. This is just amazing. This cookie crumbing up the board. That's got to be like the highlight puzzle of this series. I mean, that is just incredible. Okay, but instead, black missed that opportunity and went queen at e1. I mean, I thought there was something because the dark squares were so weak, but yes, surprising. That is the only way to win, is to cookie crumb along this rank. That's just brilliant. But and there's a really key important idea here. You go defend and run away, and you're oh, this loses. Oh my goodness! So I thought rook here was strong, but here, and the point is you can't go here because the bishop takes pawn, so you have to go here. But now just simple. Oh. And so the point is at h2, king here, knight here is checkmate, but he does this instead. King h1, he must sack the queen, and rook at g1 is checkmate. Oh. So Unjournakamura did get the mate after all, but white did have a defense, and this is just, I don't get it. He has a defense with this, and I'm thinking still, how can that be a defense when these squares are so weak? Why can't we just go pawn here, bishop here? So the point is that pawn here, king h2, if it's a pawn we've got no ideas like this. Bishop here, king here, and the knight's covering h2, and white's completely winning. Hi Zixon, the knight at f1 only defense is a cool puzzle too. Yeah, knight at f1, that's so unpredictable, but it's basically to defend g3 as well, isn't it? Because knight at f1, yeah, exactly. So after this, you can safely go to h2. This is important. If you go here, you're still losing, because in all kinds of ways, but the most beautiful apparently is rook at g1, king here, bishop takes g3, we have to take it, no we don't, we could take the rook. No, sorry, something happened. So bishop takes g3, we could take the rook, but then there's an obvious mate with at h2 because the knight is pinned, and knight f2 mate. So we do have to take the bishop. But now, rook takes bishop, king takes, and now I'm going to try not to look at engine for a bit. How do we mate here? Because this square is covered. So I was thinking knight here, but king here, and we got a bishop. I can't even see the mate in this position. Maybe someone in chat can see the mate. Knight covers this bishop h1. Okay, so I've got to try and think, like, what are the free squares for the king? The free squares are here and here. So that's why moves like bishop h1 would be tempting, because they cut off the escape. Knight here is tempting, because it cuts off the escape, but he's still got this. Oh, so we could go knight here, bishop here, but then how to finish it? Okay, I'm gonna cheat. So knight h4, king h2, bishop at g1, king h1, bishop takes knight, taking away the defender, and now you have no hope. So if you try and block like so, there's at g2, and you try and step up, there's queen promotion with checkmate. Okay, ooh, difficult, but apparently there's a faster mate with at f3. Why can't we just take it? Because then knight at f4. Why can't we just go here? Because then rook takes, oh, we deflected the bishop from h3. Okay. So we have to go king takes then. But if king takes, we can stop the king from running back. Oh, that is pretty. Yeah, so you have a choice. Either deflect the bishop from h3 and then you get in f4 and rook takes h3, or this one, stop the king running back. So now he is in big trouble. This bishop here will be checkmate. Yep. So I think, so what was the other line? If knight here, king here, bishop at g1, bishop takes knight, this opens this up. Rook at f1, at g2, can't do anything, that's the point. You got a rook, but still the queen comes in, yeah. Okay, so, but even nicer was just at f3. So it was important here, in this position, not after bishop at f2. Bishop at f2 is the trappy move, because you would think try and avoid bishop takes g3, but actually no, because we just saw king h1 gets you mated. But now this, knight takes, and if there is something for black, my engine's not seeing it. Okay, so anyway, in the end, unjournakamura found the mate. Could there be something with two knights and a rook? It's possible there's something here. But engine says plus 14, so it doesn't see anything. King f2. Yeah, it's not seeing anything. If we just do this, we just don't have enough, I guess. The king is running away. Okay. So what happened in the game was this rook at g1, this bishop takes g3, takes here, pawn here, takes the rook, and rook here, checkmate. So, well, really nice play from unjournakamura, but the cookie crumb here, I mean, that's definitely a highlight, as well as Sixon said, the knight f1 block. So very interesting game as far as puzzles are concerned. So that was game 4. Game 5, I'm going to go a bit quicker. He wins a pawn by the looks of things. And at this point, just to clarify, unjournakamura is 3-1 up. So bishop takes pawn, queen takes bishop, and this looks already as if we're getting mated. Yes, it's a mate in 3 coming. So this was an opening crush actually from unjournakamura. Takes. He's got a knight. He's harassing the queen. And this is painful. Just knight e5 was the strongest. Knight e5, if you step back, you just got queen here, down, and smothered mate. So knight e5, you have to step up, but then just bishop here takes, queen here is mate, unless I'm mistaken. Queen here is mate, whatever happens. Okay, but instead this happened, okay, so it was just mate in 1. So actually this was an opportunity for some resistance, apparently. Not much resistance. I can't see any resistance. But okay. So notice now Kireka would be 4-1 down at this stage. And now, so 1-4 down. So this is quite a comeback. This game's already been analysed by someone. So he picks up a knight, runs back to d1. Oh, yeah, so this looked questionable. Taking the knight's always a bit risky, but then I guess it had to be done because the knight was taking the bishop next. So maybe it's not so bad. Zixon said also a4 being -9 was very instructive. Yeah, that was fun as well. So hang on. Remember, in this position, Kireka is 1-4 down, and he's -14 in this position. So that's quite stunning. Like he's almost 1-5 down at this stage. Bishop takes bishop, queen takes bishop, rook here, and with this one move, Unjournakamura loses 2 queens and a bishop. Or he loses a queen and 2 rooks with this one move. Why is it so bad? This game of Crazyhouse is so confusing. So, what should we be doing here as what should we be doing here as black? Any ideas? But before we look at the engine, what should black be doing here? The queen looks like it's going to be taken with check. We don't have that many attackers on the board. Do we have time to try and like deflect the knight with knight h5 or something? Or do we have enough? Yeah, we don't have enough. Do we have enough to get in on f3 somehow? So okay, I'm going to turn on the engine and find out what should he have been doing. So takes, he had a, black has an amazing, black has some interesting ideas here. Just knight at h4, simple. Nothing really very fancy. So this it hits the knight, so he has to do this. Queen takes h4. F3 is weak. The white king is quite open. There might even be queen takes h3 sacks. I'm not sure if there are, but I was thinking this move here, and I'm even worried about queen takes h3, and that's top engine move. So that's my Crazyhouse instincts rather than any calculation. It turns out black has mate in 9 in this position. With knight at g5, and to be honest, if I was playing it, I wouldn't necessarily even find the mate, but so if the king just tries to back off, oh, the pawns are just flowing in. So at h3, yeah, okay, we don't want to lose the bishop with check. Okay, I give up. This is lost. So yeah, queen takes h3, nice resource there. What else could he have done? It's difficult because the knight would just take a rook. So how to defend? It's not clear. Rook here, it just gets attacked. Bishop at g4 is just lethal. We think, okay, we're just going to take it. Queen takes, you block and just come in. Or even knight here, check, takes the rook next. Okay, so this is just absolutely lethal. Queen takes h4, queen g4 idea. But pawn f3 wins too, says Oppa. Yeah, absolutely. So with this one move, he goes from a -20 position to an equal position. Takes, but still black's doing fine. Still black's okay. But he needs to get pieces on the board fast. Yeah, he does this correctly. He has to get in. Takes. Oh, he's winning a queen. How on earth does Kireka come back from this? This is just a shocker. And again, he has mate in 6, starting with queen takes knight. Queen takes knight, and then I'm still not seeing it, because usually you want to keep your queen until you can see the finish line. So, I mean, the Stockfish is saying queen f4, but my instinct here would always be to keep the queen a little bit, not to go. But you don't want to go stuff like here and take the rook, because obviously White himself has mating ideas here. But the point is just I'd be thinking about some kind of queen. Yeah, I'd be. This is the way I'd be thinking of finding some kind of mate, pawn, and promote. But apparently pawn is not good. Pawn at b2, very fancy. That is pretty. Okay, so I'd have completely missed that one. I was thinking more mundane stuff with which maybe White gets away with king b2, and then we get another queen with check, and we have to go hunting, and it's still a long way to go, and this is why I end up losing games. Because then we have to go queen a4 check, king takes queen, queen takes a2, rook a3. So this is how OK mates. He just it just keeps on going. But okay, at b5. So he doesn't want. What does he do here? He takes. He could take with the rook, but that's not good. Why not just king b4? Okay, so c5 is coming. This is the problem. Okay, so yeah, this is gonna lead to trouble. Okay, pawn f3. Pawn f3. In which position? Oh, this is the previous position. Yeah. Okay, so it turns out that the quicker mate is queen f4, king here, and bishop f3, and these diagonals. Oh, okay, this is nice. So stopping the king from running at all to the queen side, and now he's dead, because we just control. This is see, this is how you mate beautifully. This is how you mate beautifully. This is how the mating machines mate, like Opera and Jasugi 99. Okay, so queen takes knight was the move, but this didn't really work. So he doesn't have the beautiful diagonals. Black still seems completely fine, but takes, check. What? I mean, this apparently is the move, but okay, this seems fine. Queen takes knight, knight takes, knight here, check. Hang on, he's no longer got the queen in hand. He just gave up the queen in hand. That was a bit of a problem. So just gave up the queen in hand, doesn't really have anything. And it's White who has the mate. So Kireka comes back. So he's now 2. It could have been 5-1 to unjournakamura very easily, but instead now it's 2-4. And let's just quickly catch up this game. Oh, we were seeing this f5 idea. I'll just leave the engine on just so people can see, because I might be going too quickly to see things. Develop. Hit the queen. This is very nice because you can't take either knight or knight at e2. Picks up the queen. So it takes. This again. I mean, this is strong. This takes. So we've got queen. No, queen at g1 isn't yet a threat, but this bishop is doing a good job defending. Yeah, is knight here anything? Take. No, I can't see anything that black has. But I don't know. I'm sure Nakamura got. So he should have taken the bishop apparently. But okay, this doesn't seem awful. But oh, there's something sneaky here. You see, that bishop is important because of this. Queen at g1, rook takes, knight takes f2, king h2, at g3, and even though the bishop's defending, takes back is mate. It's very sneaky. And Kireka missed that, so that was a real opportunity for him. You know, he should have seen this one, because this queen at g1 was maybe he played too quickly. He played this in like 1 second. So he missed a really important move. And so it becomes a really tense game. But in this position here, this is a bad mistake, takes, and it's checkmate next move. Really incomprehensible from unjournakamura. You know, thinks for 12 seconds and plays this without defending this bishop on h2. Okay, so it was already a difficult position, but I think I'd say unjournakamura really let his quality slip towards the end of this match. So yeah, we saw this. Kireka winning a piece, but also kudos to Kireka for stepping up. So I'm sure he's already doing nicely here in this position. Oh, you think E7 was a slip? Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, it must have been a slip. You're right. I'm so bad at recognizing, but of course. I don't know. I feel like he was distracted by something at the end of that match. Like, not to take anything away from Kireka, who's really been playing nicely, but he was playing so well in the first few games, and just yeah, takes, king takes. Okay, I don't understand this position at all. So why is he taking a knight? He must have an idea which I don't see. Oh, I guess that's not a real queen. That's the only point. He's just picking up material, I guess. Seems, yeah, okay. So takes back. It takes. He's still very safe. Takes the queen. Takes back. Okay, there's nothing for black. So that was just, yeah. And then the final game, which we just saw. What did we think about this one? I mean, this turns out to be a blunder. I was saying what a nice move it was during the live action. So much for my commentary. Thought it was a nice fork on these two, but unfortunately, yeah, this can take this with tempo. So there's no fork at all. And now this bishop c to f4 at d2 turns out to be a mistake. So better was to do this, and then go at d2. Apparently, at d2, king here. What's the continuation? Knight f6. Just continue as if nothing's happening. Okay. So he does this. King f1 is correct. So this is a tight game. Bishop here is a mistake, apparently. But again, it looks like a good move. So this is like this is too difficult for human beings to understand this kind of position. So I'm guessing, yeah, the engine will not like play by either player. And now we have the mate, Queen e1. Okay, very nice finish though, Queen e1. We didn't have a pawn, but we have Queen e1. It's not forced mate immediately, maybe because Knight e1, and this square is covered. But just queen takes rook, and black's just taking all the pieces. So it's a resigner. And of course, the point is that if takes, then you take here again, take here, and this clears away the back rank defense, because now you have queen here, check, king here, queen takes rook, blocks, takes, and then knight here is a smother. And that's it. I don't know, how did Kireka... So Kireka just came back, boom, boom, boom. Won 4 in a row to take the match 6-4, having been 4-2 down. I think we might have missed some of these games, but just to replay again. So I just lost track. So there was this one. Oh yeah, we didn't see this one. Okay. I mean, we saw it live, but oh yeah, it was this one. Yeah, this one. Yeah. So the key point here was queen takes knight. Just queen takes knight. That was the key point of this one. And dominate the diagonal. So that was yeah. And then there was this one. Just replaying it again. Okay, we did look at all of this. I just lost track of time. Knight here, check. Attacks the queen. Just went through it so quickly, I didn't remember it. Yeah, that was a bit of a disaster. And this one. And this is really strange c4 push, but yeah, just so with these few games, he just this is a just too much material, and just took all the material and was very safe. Interesting games. Okay, so kirekachesschamp with 4 in a row comes back from 2-4 down to win 6-4. I think it was maybe a yeah, slight, feels like maybe unjournakamura just let his quality slip just a tiny bit, and Kireka played very solid, solid Crazyhouse. Marlon says, I can't watch OK streams anymore. He moves back and forth through counterfactuals too much. Ah, I'm sorry, Marlon. Okay, well, I'm sorry it's been a chaotic stream, but thanks everyone for watching. Congratulations to Kireka, who goes on to round 5. Round 5 out of 10. Okay, bye guys.